I've been using the owletdreamsock for about a week now, so let's talk about it. So a bit of background, this is basically a sleep tracker for your baby. This attaches to their foot and it connects to a hub overnight, and through the evening you can track things like their sleep quality, their heartbeats per minute, their oxygen levels, and their movement. So a lot of information. I've been using it for 5 days, and yeah, we'll get into the review. But I didn't originally buy this for myself because I didn't see it as like a necessary item, and actually I thought maybe it would add more anxiety to me than help ease anxiety. But I did put it on my baby registry because I thought, you know what, it's a nice to have item, and one of my family members very kindly purchased this for us, so thank you to them. Now let's talk about how it works in the review. So every day you have to charge the sock in this little hub thing, so it plugs in like this. This plugs into a USB. And then in the evening, you put the sock on to your little one before they go to bed. Through the night, you will get alerted if, for example, oxygen levels dip too low, or if the heartbeats per minute dip too low. It actually makes like a beeping noise, the little hub part. So it's constantly tracking and making sure that your little one is safe. That luckily hasn't happened with us yet. So far we've really been using it mostly for the stats that it gives us in the phone. So I'll share with you what that looks like in the app. So there's kind of two sections of the app every night that you can review. This is last night's sleep experience that my son had. He's luckily sleeping through the night so far, knock on wood that this continues. It's been amazing. But anyway, so it has total sleep, so 9 hours and 47 minutes, the start time and the end time, the average pulse rate and the average oxygen level. Interesting, but does get a little bit repetitive after a while. What I found more interesting is this second part of the nightly report, which covers sleep, state, oxygen, pulse rate, and movement through the night. So you can actually scan through the evening and see how each of these kind of metrics are tracking. Starting with sleep state, so there's 3 states that your child can have: awake, light sleep, or deep sleep. I found this interesting because my son has just started sleeping through the night, and it's interesting to go in and see like what he was doing through the evening, and did he ever like wake up for a second or two and then go back to sleep. So I quite enjoyed reflecting on that. The oxygen level, again, like it's there. I guess I could definitely see use cases where this would be super valuable information, but because we're not really worried about too much with my son, I'm not really having much postpartum anxiety, like it's kind of a nice to have, but not something that I'm finding super interesting. They say that if the oxygen level dips below 90%, you should definitely speak to your pediatrician about it. I think my son's is typically like 100 to 98%, and I think once it dipped to 95%, so we're within the kind of realm of normal or what's to be expected. Same with pulse rate and movement. These are interesting, but not kind of like, they don't change too much. I think I found the most interesting part to be the sleep state and seeing like how he's sleeping through the night. So overall, I think this is a good tool to have. Like yesterday, for example, my son had his vaccinations, and I just wanted to have like an extra eye on him to make sure he was okay. They kind of warned us that he might get a fever and he might not feel very well. And he was definitely very fussy last night. He was crying a lot and seemed to be in a lot of pain from his legs. And I guess he just wasn't feeling like himself. So that was helpful to have to hand, to be able to see like how he was sleeping. It was also really helpful to be able to just like check in on him without having to look at my monitor and see like, is he awake? Is he asleep? So that was nice. But again, I'm sure that if you had something specific that you were concerned about, or if you were just broadly concerned about general health and making sure your baby was kind of safe while sleeping, I think this would be a great tool. For us, I think we'll probably end up using it less frequently as time goes on. I think it's great. It's just having to remember to charge it and then put it on. It is, I don't know. I don't know how much I see us using it, considering that the things that we're getting every night are pretty much the same every night. I wonder if it would work better if you had the outlet camera as well, maybe. But again, this is just my experience. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy to kind of answer any. And equally, if you had a different experience and you love it, or maybe I'm missing something, please let me know. And yeah, that's just our experience so far.